Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that, everybody.
Hey,
Fun
that's all
times in
part
hot
of this,
Florida.
Yeah, so for the scene, there are stable hand, an old lady, a cook, and I think there's another. He's got basically a staff of about 3 or 4, and they're bringing people in and putting them where they can for the meantime. And he seems like a very gracious host. He's talking to you and kind of steps back. He seems very confident, in himself. He shows you an entry hall, big rugs on the ground, suits of armor on the left and right hand side of the hall, various swords and like trophies. There's like a big head of a various beast, taxidermied up there and things like that. We'll say it's I don't want to say it's an owl bear because that seems like a dick move to kill an owl bear, but we'll say like
a bear owl.
A parrot.
Very different.
But a bear owl is a different one. Yeah.
Possibly a bowel.
A bowel.
A bowel.
And it's been disemboweled.
Now does that shit in the woods? Interesting. Anyways, we could go all day. The joke is now dead. All right.
It's on the wall.
Where we're staying.
Yeah.
Okay. Since we're heading north, and Harshnag mentioned we get in cold weather gear, I'm gonna inquire about a tailor or supplier of cold weather gear for the spine.
Yeah. Yes.
Further north of here.
Yes.
If we can acquire some of that.
Yeah. Well, there's Mithril Hall. I have a few jackets I could loan you here that don't suit me anymore. So in your mind, is there any reason why you'd come to Zymorvan Hall? Was there any other reasons?
Yes.
I feel like that's a hint.
there was back from Tribor. Got to remember what that was.
Looking at the notes of things.
Looking at the notes.
Morbid Hall written down as a list of places.
I will be the name just for you guys.
Oh, wait. The Giant Slayer sword. I believe. Yes.
But I mean, is that what you would say straight out, or was there something?
No.
Yeah. So
no. The old lady. She said something. What was that old lady, man? Old lady. Back at the thing. That Tribor Trail. Shit dogs.
Yeah, I can't remember.
God, how long ago was that?
I know.
this is one of those follow-up quests.
What was her name? 3 people died, and that's after the death. And there's the next one. Reported to no, not to Exalta.
Well, for the sake of
Wait.
okay.
See, Argala Milkman.
Was it?
Oh, Gala, we adventured together. Ah, yes, what a name. What did you hear of Argala? How was she?
Her 2, I say, quite beautiful beasts she has.
Yeah.
Big dogs.
Hey, oh, yes. Yes, come. And he motions to the rest of his staff to take care of some of the refugis that are showing up, and they, lay out hay for them to sit, and they have goat's milk and various things. He's like, yes, come. And he brings you to the end of a long table and kind of sits down over top of his head. I would say make an insight. What's your passive insight? Make an insight check?
Opening.
All of us are just Mirren?
Mirren.
Okay.
I think I would say this is definitely,
10 is my passive.
Yeah.
To roll.
Yeah, you see a big stand above the hearth, like with 2 open cloths, empty.
Ooh. Okay. So I'll keep about Argala, and say, yeah, she's running the North Shield House. I don't know if she did that at your time when you knew her, when you were adventuring, but she's running that now and doing quite well. She mentioned a weapon. She didn't say. She did say what it was. It was a giant slaying long sword. She may have in your possession.
The giant slayer. And he kind of looks down at the table. She told you about this. What is your calling? What brings you here where you would need such a, obviously, from where they're coming from?
So, as you have this problem in Rivermoot, the giants have ransacked that town and destroyed it. We are trying to affect the ordering and prevent the giants from coming back to power. In doing so, that weapon would be a great boon to our quest.
Now, we have an hour left. He mentions to you, my son Harthal ran off with a common thief from Yartar, one of those Enanins. Stole my weapon. I don't know how we could retrieve that. I am aged. I only have this keep to protect me. But I can offer you some cold weather gear if you're heading to the spine of the world. I have various armors. You know, as he like looks around and weapons here, and you see, you know what I mean, things that look like shields and stuff like that. But unfortunately, if you don't have talented agents or spies to recover this from the grand city of Yartar, full of thieves and scum of the earth, of the Faerunes. Earth? Yeah. Scum of the Faerunes.
Scum of the dirt.
Yeah. This would be very difficult. There was an underlying thing inside there.
Look behind, or not even look behind, I'll just do a little hey to hiss and be like, "What you got any connects?" Essentially.
Is it the Weevil?
No, see if he's got any connects with his organization that he's participating in,
The Weevil.
and maybe able to.
5,000 gold pieces on his head, and there's literally a wanted poster in his thing, and he's like, people will bring me these things to hunt for his bounty. Last I heard, he's holding up in the Xanathal's keep, but that's up to you guys. That's pretty far away.
That's out of our way.
It definitely has side quest level vibes, but hey, you're the party of 3 now. Do as you wish.
Ooh. Tempting.
Where is Yartar? So being that he mentioned that his son went to Yartar with this thief, does he have a distance or how many days travel it would take to get there?
Yartar from here. At the speeds that you guys could travel, 5-6 days.
How does this guy know how fast we can travel? Huh?
He doesn't. He thinks we're normal.
And just,
We're good.
yeah.
He doesn't know. We'll beat the fastest.
Oh, so mentally I'll be like having that because we're so magical.
Yeah.
Okay, Yartar. Let's see. In Yartar, is that
Yeah, about 6
west of
days.
Rivermoot? Over and beyond?
Follow the Serban River. At Rivermoot, it breaks into where the Raven and the Serban River meet.
Indeed.
Follow the road south down the Serban River.
Mhm.
To the north, up the Serban will bring you to Mithril Hall.
West of the Evermore. Okay. So
Now remember, you guys have that cool writ, right? For Yartar, for the hands. Yeah.
So talking to him, and that his town, I guess, I presume Zymorgan Hall protects Rivermoot? Is that his charge as the Lord of Zymorgan Hall?
I do my best to protect this area. I'm just one man between me and he points over at this lady, my friend, the druid there. We can hold some folks off.
Can I
He's
do
got
an insight?
he's got a partner.
Can I do an insight on the vibe? Can I do a vibe check?
Yeah, absolutely.
16.
He's honest. He's retired. You know, you get the sense that if he could help
Emphasis
you,
on tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's over it. He's got enough to take care of himself, and that's pretty much it. This is his spot right down the road from Mithril Hall if he has to collapse and move out, but
Yep.
obviously he did something back in the day where they built this keep for him, just much like the dwarves are going to do for you guys if you do your thing,
Okay. So
I mean, it's your session. And like I said to Skylar before this happens, you guys want to rip around and go 6 days moving carefully, you know what I mean, down there, no problem. And then 6 days back, sure. If it's worthy to you guys. Have a plan, because when you guys pick up 5 weeks from now, you'll be wherever you're at and you'll be suffering the wrath of Pwent. Yeah.
I will gladly ask her, see if we can receive the cold weather gear from him for us, and let's say the rest of the party, because whatever he could spare, I presume it would be that much.
He's got common weapons all over the place in this thing. You know what I mean? Like up to, there are a couple full plated, you know what I mean? Suits of armor.
You mentioned you were but one man. Perhaps you could be sympathetic to the cause of the rest of us moving on to take care of the lands beyond these, your neighbors.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's like, he gives you what he can, nice warm coats and stuff like that. He can get those out for you guys. He's got 3, that he can pass off to you.
You know how it is with your joints, sensing the weather, a cold storm ahead.
Just last night, I felt a storm coming in from the east, and oh boy.
Yes, I feel it in my elbow and knee and hip.
Oh yeah.
Well, from one old warrior to another. I can say that
he shows you a scar and he's like, arrow to the knee right there.
Oh my goodness, that looks awful.
See this? Yes. Dagger.
As he mentioned the storm rolling in, I'd ask if he saw which way it was heading.
Storm? The storm headed off to the southeast.
Is that normal for storms here, that they head in that direction, or?
No, not necessarily. Well, I mean, they do push off. Yeah, they push off. This looks like the Seattle region over here, and the trackless sea. Yeah. The jet streams kind of swirl in the Alaska region of Svartberg, and then kind of push through this way. So yeah.
How perfect for you.
Yeah.
Well, if you can count on anything, you can count on us making good use of the gifts.
And he's just like, I see your symbols of Hyronius. I had a friend long ago that, and he wipes one off, and he's just like, it's a shield. It's a regular old shield, and it's got a lightning bolt on it, And he's like, he passes it off to you. Yeah.
This and give it the strength it needs to down my foes.
But unfortunately, this book right here says that the sword is to the south.
Another castle. Yes. With his permission, if we were to retrieve the sword, would we be able to use it in our quest?
It's yours. You can take the mantle and be the heroes of these times. As if you can wring it from my son's weak wrists, he's not going to be much trouble. But I'm sure if he doesn't sell it.
You can be assured, us heroes, and I swear it on my name, Sir Longshaft McDubbs, would never assuage the doubts that are looming, no doubt, with the herald of your family name. Would your son, still bearing a royal, I would say royal connection, because you, sir, bear such royalty in your demeanor, would we be bringing any shame to your family by, as you say, wringing the blade from his weak wrists and otherwise manhandling a young lad?
No.
Do as minimal harm as possible.
I have written him off long ago. He can return to me if he wishes, but I doubt that. We don't see eye to eye.
Well,
try to convince him of
Yes.
the greater purpose of this sword.
Yeah. He's like, I tell you what,
Grasp with that.
if you have any connections with, like I said, any agencies or like I used to travel with a group called the Harpers, if you can run into one of those agents in Yartar and should tell them, which I believe he was with the Hands of Yartar, they probably would be able to get that for you.
Maybe you could do this outsourcing business. Of course, the Harpers I've known, legendarily very helpful, right? Gentleman, lady?
Yes,
Right?
I believe I've heard of them.
He scribbles something down and he puts a wax stamp on it and he's just like, take this to a friend of mine. If you can find going through my list of NPC names, Gavin.
Gavin, yes.
It's a friend of. Tell him, a friend of Leosin.
Leosin, yes.
Sent this message. If you can get to Yartar and find him. I'm trying to think of he lists that same bar that you went to in Yartar. I'll find it real quick when I scrub through this thing. If you can get this to him, he should be able to find the sword for you.
I'm sorry, you might have to speak up a little louder. My wife here, Peggy McDubbs, she's a little hard of hearing. Fired one too many blasts of powerful spells, as I reference Blandina.
Say again? No, it's like,
You know how it is. Old adventurers.
Did you say?
You
Did
gotta
you
lose
say
something, if not your life.
Schlavin and Hartar?
to repeat, I'll ensure they're tracking what we need to do when we get there.
He said,
Calling Horns. There's a bar at the Calling Horns. Nope, not the Calling Horns. I'll find it.
Yep. Bar at the yard.
The Drunken Duck. Fine. I'm done searching through this thing. If you could make it to the Drunken Duck down there, they'll be able to track it down.
I will thank him for his gracious host of
Yes.
this night, and
We'll take care of these refugees, and maybe in the morrow I'll march them to Mithril Hall. But I think this keep is no longer safe.
not with the giants roaming. We will have to pass by the river moot on our way to Yartar, I presume, unless we go to the Evermoors, which is probably a less than.
Rivermoot was sacked, apparently.
Yeah.
But the way the frost giants are, they probably hit it and then moved on back into the mountains.
Well, we'll attempt to clear any that we find. Continue on with our quest and try and give you a little more safety as you head to Mithril Hall.
Yeah. For the sake of this, I can montage this one. You guys spending a 10-day going there and back, if you guys would like, and doing a talk to the guy, pass off the stuff. If somebody, unless you want to do anything else, if your plan is to go to Yartar and back, just to kind of move you guys into whatever. Like I said, I have no problem with how long this session lasts, and I don't want to waste anybody's time going like, oh, I had a side quest over to here. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like the type of quest that's going to involve a lot of fights. But since you went to Zymorvan Hall, he told you where the quest is. You know what I mean? Like, he told you where it's at. I nerfed you guys heavily. You know what I mean? If you want to head down there, you'll have those 6 days to write spells out that you need to, depending on how much money you guys have left. He's got none to give. You know what I mean? But if you guys want to do that, Harshtag will say, I'll meet you guys at Mithril Hall and protect these folks, despite the fact that he's a frost giant.
Okay.
If you guys want to work that out.
Yeah.
That's very nice, Harshnag. It'll also
Does that sound fair? Does that sound like reasonable to kind of move to the next thing, or how do you guys want to do it?
So, in your chart, do we have anything else we need to do there? I guess the question. Besides, gather this sword. I openly asked the rest of the plan.
Skylar, are you thinking?
Yes, I'm looking at how much gold we have and what spells that I have prepared that I could copy into the new spell book. Just trying to figure out how many of those there are. That's all.
And you've been presenting as a drow this entire time?
Yeah, no.
That's also a good thing because there's these 20, 30 people from Rivermoot that can kind of pass on that there is a good drow running around. You know what I mean? And that's with the two old elves.
That'll probably spread quite. They'll be like, oh, well, I guess at least the drow part will stick out, but the old elves will not. Yeah, so
it wouldn't take all of you to accomplish this mission either. If someone can move faster than the others.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
At 160 move speed, you can get out there real quick. Okay.
Yeah, they would get there very fast.
Okay. Well, yes, plus.
If these two want to help with the Refugis to move up as well, that's also good for renown.
I will make a point to contact my contacts with my inherited business, the Silver Fang Trading Company.
Yep.
And I will get supplies for refugees sent.
Okay.
And spread news that any refugee that needs anything and comes across a Silver Fang Trading post, merchant, blah blah, that they have access to the amenities of survival.
Okay.
And medicine, whatever. We're gonna take the financial hit, but
oh
well.
I'd say you can be there and back in 6 days. That's your speed.
Yeah. Yeah. The Griffin can fly 180.
Yep.
With dashes.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So.
And you're a griffin too, so you're just like hanging out in the clouds, zipping around. Yeah, like.
Can't frog.
Yep. Yeah.
So I will let them know. I'll meet them in Mithril Hall after they're done getting the refugees there. So yeah, I guess I can just go right over the Nevermore's most likely. Yes.
It takes a day when you meet the agent. You know what I mean? And just, in part of the montage, there's plenty enough contacts to wring this from them. That's actually in the book, right? Like if you use some sort of subterfugeous means, you know what I mean? You can do this. But since it ties into you going to Zymorvan Hall and the way you guys are spread out, I have no problem just snapping through that one.
So, hey, I got this Harper Blendina, and she's like, boop, 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 and they not Harper. So I was working my way in that way.
I would spend as much time as required to sit down with this book, with this new spell book, to comb through those new spells, knowing that I'm kind of effed.
If you use all of okay, are we using Hiss anymore, or are we Savanthor?
Yeah, Savathor.
Savathor. Are we Savathor now?
So I will be Savathor for the sake of the party, but as we're traveling, I'm going to be taking disguises until we get the jump on the people who think we're dead, if that's the vibe that we're going with.
So this is a good prep phase too. I like this. So like if you dart down there, handle this mission, and you spend 6 days writing out the drow words for the spells, it's very difficult for him. It's like math, science, grump, you know what I mean? Like you can spend 6 days just copiously counting, writing this out and transferring it to, you know what I mean, into your thing. The cost of switching the spells is still a thing, right? So you're gonna have to, right? So think about the cost, and that's how many spells you can transfer over.
Well,
but the words, it is.
So I just looking at Okay. 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 That's gonna take some time.
I will translate for you in the late hours of the night.
So there's a bunch of spells in the book that I already have. So copying those spells into the new book is gonna take half the time, half the cost. So like little to not a ton. It's gonna be some of the other spells that will take more time and more money.
Okay.
So it's just a matter of
I'm gonna trust you to sort that out
Okay.
on your own. To be honest with like what it looks like, because I kind of wanted to hit from the battle, right? To not be clean. You lost your spell book. That's a rough one. So you know, and that's 6 days worth of time. You can calc that all out. You know, as you guys, do you guys want to meet back up at Mithril Hall?
So I presume it. I don't know how long
Yeah.
it takes them to get to Mithril Hall, but I will end up meeting them at Mithril Hall, depending on their travel time.
Okay.
It take me 6 days to boom boom.
Zymorvin, Lord Zymorvin is very good with the battle dwarves, the shield dwarves of Mithril Hall. So he lets you know that Queen Dagnabbit Waybeard is now the queen of Mithril Hall, and you guys arrive at the granite doors. You know, the two of you are there for maybe 2 or 3 days prior. Mithril Hall is more like a fortress than it is like a town, right? So it's carved out pretty good, but you're able to find, you know, a bustling, you know, there is your you know, the tavern, there is a store there are things like that are available, but you get the sense that Mithril Hall is pretty depleted as well when you arrive there, and that whole Reginald Roundshield, that whole Brunor Battlehammer took about 3,000 dwarves. Mithril Hall got yoinked. Yeah, so there's not much here. You know that Mithril Hall has collapsed to Felbar. The Felbar dwarves are cut off because of what they just dealt with. So they're spending a lot of their time preparing, opening those mines. But Mithril Hall has, interestingly enough, you find that it has tunnels that can get you up towards the Valley of Kurdrun, where Harshnag wants to go. So you can go under those foothills and pop out into the spine of the world. So you guys have your cold weather gear. Obviously, Frosty Harshnag doesn't need that. And you guys can carry on. You know, like you're leading the party right now. So if the other party decides, hey, I want to jump in with them, they can do that. Or if we decide over the next 4 or 5 weeks, you know, they want to, you know, split the party, do something else, I'm totally down with that as well. But you arrive, you know, you come in like beaten, your griffin is, you know, smoked, and you know, they take it off to their stables, and you rest your griffin, and you guys are back together. You're working on your spell book diligently. You have cold weather gear for 3 people. I'm putting that out there because the other party can't just, you know, yoink that stuff. But you know that the spinal world is like brutal cold.
I do have my Boots of the Wilderness, which give me.
Yeah.
I already have that, so
you
I'll
can
have
pass it off to one person.
I'll have an extra to
Yep.
pass off to somebody. I'm not gonna not take it. Just so
how
you
much,
guys,
I don't know how much gold you guys have, but I'm
Yes.
assuming you're using all your gold.
So we have 1,600 gold, 1,675.
Okay.
It's gonna cost 1,000 gold for me to copy everything that I already know. That matches everything that's already in this book, and learning the new spells that I don't know, and just basically to make the 2 books kind of the same. It's going to cost 1,000 gold.
I'll say the Gromp spellbook is like fancy. You know what I mean? It's got like, it's got very like silvered web on it and stuff like that. It is, you know what I mean? Like it's pretty rad looking.
So I will just be taking, you know, this entire time to arts and crafts, this entire thing, make the new spell book look as much like it's mine.
Want me to tattoo it on you? I'll tattoo that shit on you.
Dude.
Spells, so it never goes anywhere.
Do you want some tattoos?
That'd be pretty fucking slick.
then you never need a book.
You never need a book again. But if
But-
you suffer burns, you might.
So essentially, I'll have 2 full spell books at that point. And
Okay.
so what I'm gonna have, just so everybody knows, I'm gonna have to take down all of my spells that were in the other book and put it aside so that if I ever get that spell book back, I know what's in that spell book. And then I'll have these 2 that have completely different spells. So
Okay.
it'll be
um,
interesting.
it's well worth the cost to have you with new skills.
You have a giant slayer longsword,
Oh,
I presume, right?
Holy shit.
that is Johnny Slayer longsword.
That's an IOU that I would keep. That's a Lamborghini. That's 2 million.
Anyone else dies, I will sacrifice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll let Barty know that returned successfully from there. Let Lord Zygmorven know his son is still alive, but now obviously doesn't have a sword. And let's see.
I mean, he's totally fine with this. Like you can tell that like whatever affects, the good of the realm, like he would easily give it up. Yeah, just you're using my sword to do this. This is great. It's a legacy, like the son I've never had.
God.
Let's see. What else do we need to do? So we got the cold weather gear from Zygmorven Hall. I'm just going to inquire and see if Mithril Hall, being that all the dwarves vacated, if there's just extra cold weather gear laying around for our party, in case we meet up with them in Inspiring the World and they somehow skip Mithril Hall.
Yep.
But if not, then
Yeah, since you're asking, and I'm not making everything like super easy because I just let you have that montage. If you do ask, Dag Nabbit Waybeard's very, business and anything to keep, if you're doing this to protect the realm, if you're staying on, if you're staying on the path to defeat these giants that are battling on our doors, and you're promising to get to this Eye of the Allfather, then our stores are open, for cold weather gear, and fit this party. And she, snaps her fingers, and shield dwarves, the ones that are available, run around, and they will present you guys with. They'll either set extra suit, aside for when they either catch up or they're wearing it right now. This is the wonky side of this. I like to keep it as real as possible. Because in my mind, they got really lost in the storm, went into the woods, they triangulated in the quaddle way to get around it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Being that we know Mithril Hall is somewhere where Quint should end up, I think we'll describe our fellow adventurers and let them know that they'll be here to pick it up whenever they do.
Okay.
And thank them for their aid. Now, Harshnag was talking to him about these tunnels. Can he fit in the tunnels?
Yeah.
Big dwarven tunnels.
Yeah, I mean, he can scrunch. He's not gonna love it, but he's an adventurer. He's kind of in his prime.
Shall we? What do you think, guys? What's the move?
We are at Mithril Hall right now.
Yes.
And it's been 6 days since we last saw you.
You guys were here about 2 days before I got here. It was the word. So we've been here 2 days at least.
Okay.
As you were waiting for me because I was flying around. So I guess talk to Harshnag. From here, from his knowledge, how far is it to the Allfather now? Taking these tunnels. How much time will we save versus going?
If you take the tunnels,
I guess he doesn't know the tunnels.
yeah, it's probably 3 days to get to the valley of Cardoon.
anyone have any last minute tasks we need to do in town here before we depart? And do you need more time to have more spells before we head out, or what are we doing?
No, however long it took you to do all that, I would have taken the entire however long it took to just do all that. So
6 days. So I guess you technically had 8 days to mess around and do something with, because it took me that long to get there.
8 days.
2 in the town, and then 6 for travel.
Right. In 8 days, I would have perhaps worked on getting a supply chain out this way, diverting resources from London.
And that's through the snake, coordinating all these things.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey man, if you're gonna do that and you're gonna provide the refugees with these things, you got inspiration for your character. You can just add your own, because that's pretty tight. Like, so you're able to successfully link, and they're coming from Luskin and Port Last.
Yeah, that's like literally looking at the map. That's exactly where I was thinking. That's so cool.
So they're gonna come from Luskin, from who Captain Kurth is. You hear, but is it You know, it's not Captain Kurth. You know that's Camoriel Oblodra, and you know, he goes back and forth between you and Jarlaxle. That this is good, like that we're creating really good inroads here. And he appreciates the fact that he's using your front. You know what I mean? Like of the Sword Coast East Indies Trading Company. And that's able to set up and supplies through tunnels from Luskin to start arriving at Mithril Hall, which increases your renown with Dagnabbit Waybeard as their supplies are down. So I would say successfully, you guys have made really good. If you're doing these type of things, you're Felbar and Dagnabbit Waybeard. Like, she doesn't have a lot to offer you guys other than like speedy passage.
Crisis, I think will be like the premier like merchant, like, you know what I'm saying, like the relationship will be an enormous.
That's the reward you're looking for. There is a solid trade route that you're creating right now. Good inroads between Luskin, and your company to Mithril Hall, which Hall, like, that's tight.
Big business.
Yeah,
that's enormous. Yeah. So after the crisis,
we are still presenting as our alter characters.
Yep. It depends on how long you want to stay there, because Dagnabbit's no fool. So I mean, if you want to, it's up to you. I'm not really attacking that. I'm assuming.
No, I just want to make sure that we are still making it seem as though the three of us are dead.
Yes, I want to keep it as we're dead.
Do you want to let anybody know that? Do you want the other party to know you're dead? Is what I'm asking. Does Point think you're dead?
I don't know. He would have got.
I mean, that sounds awesome to me. That's fun. That's fun.
To me, it's really fun just to protect them through a sense of like our enemies are magical scrying. We know that our enemies have assassins. They have spy networks.
Okay.
If we can goad our enemies to attacking where they think we're weak when we're grouped up, and in fact we're at least 50 to 100% stronger by the merit of us actually being alive, that would be a really cool tide turning trick. That's like a once per campaign move. That's my like 2 cents both in and out of meta of thinking how valuable being seen as dead by your enemies is.
Okay.
It's just unfortunate to maintain it. Our allies have to also believe it. And how cool it'd be when we show up in game in character and everyone's role playing the shit out of like, I've returned to you now at the turn of the tide, like that kind of shit. Is hype. And especially after 5 and 6 weeks, it's gonna feel like we were gone.
Yeah.
In terms of gameplay.
Yeah. It also.
I'll let them run the first hour or so of the next session. You know what I mean? Maybe, and we'll figure it out.
You'll figure out. You've got the DM cap on. I get it.
Yeah.
But it'll be cool all the same. Yeah.
So then we'll have to spread stories here of, I guess,
Their
a
loss.
we saw
Yeah.
They're lost. Yeah.
individuals matching their descriptions, but somehow we'll have the queen ensure that they
Make a team deception check.
Ooh, I got you guys. I got you.
Perception, let's jump on. I think doing this will force them to maintain on the quest because they'll no longer be looking for us.
You can either deceive everybody, or you can persuade a very powerful dwarf to push this message.
Oh,
Does that make sense?
I like.
I would persuade. I would as
persuade.
as the type of wizard that I am. I would persuade them.
Yeah, with that good relationship that I have, I want them.
So you guys get her alone with, you know, her and a high cleric, we'll say, because she doesn't want to, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. So,
Yeah. So from Savathor's perspective, he would drop the like illusion and express everything, like complete, like we're not being deceptive. The importance of this, why it's useful to us, who we're trying to connect with, who I am, and as soon as hopefully the relationship of my Silver Fang trading company comes through, and I go, you know, I'm El Presidente of this. I need to maintain that Histfer Tawkins, an identity that I will not probably be using again, died in combat, and he was, you know, an employee of this company and with this group who are not grifters, who have never been grifters. That's my angle. If you guys want to inject your very important pieces of it, I just need like those pieces to be stable.
Does Mithril Hall have any sort of relations with Waterdeep at all?
I would say not. Yes.
Just relations.
As a matter of fact,
relations.
She is very Lord's Alliance forward. So Dagnabbit Waybeard does not leave for Gauntlgrim because, and this is because I'm a nerd about the lore, she wants to keep Mithril Hall going and not step on any toes and maintain a spot for the Lord's Alliance, and that's centered around Lady Lariel, Silverhand of Waterdeep. So she's close with her. They fought together in the Well of Dragons.
Could I draft a missive to Lady Lariel about the death of Blandina?
Yep. Okay.
But if there's some way through either magical means in that letter to let her know that.
Oh. Yeah. If you're to do that, you guys are at your next month. It's day 60-ish right now. You're gonna get paid. Also, so the three of you will get your 300 gold pieces as well. If you're gonna contact her and let her know you're, so you guys are all in the room. You're gonna figure out a way to speak to Lady Lariel, right? That's a real thing. She's got that ability. I believe I don't know if there's not a circle in Mithril Hall, but there's just ways, right? That they're able to speak. She can manifest herself.
Yeah, I just want Lady Lariel to know that, for all intents and purposes, I am dead, but I'm still I'm still with the black staff, just doing it in a more subversive way, and I will attempt to speak to her through the Harpers or whichever way makes the most sense at this point.
If you guys are going to have this silent meeting with Dagnabbit, how much time we got? We got 30 minutes. She will contact and summon Lady Lariel herself to enter this room, and she is able to. You can deliver this message to her personally. She can speak, through the Archbishop of Canterbury himself, or the Archbishop of Canterbury, Archbishop of Waterdeep. Henry and Lady Lariel show up together. Henry arrives, looks at you guys. This is, you know what I mean? Like, hands you guys your gold pieces, talks to you guys about where the other party is currently, that they made it to Luskin themselves. They're on their way to Svartberg. You know what I mean? You guys were able to use the don't forget about your stone, because you're the one who has the stone, right?
Yep.
Right.
You guys basically lay out the plan that, well, for Charm, you or not Charm, for Histver / Sabathor.
Yeah.
You are creating a goodly means of trade,
Right.
right? And you they're spreading that tragedy has hit with the grifters of Everland. 3 have passed. There will, for all they know, 3 have dead. So they'll write that in the Waterdeep Gazette. So that proliferates to the Morecasters, right? And yeah, that's pretty tight.
I love this.
Just
He's like, this is
just
totally
so you
brilliant.
guys know what the other group sent to us through the sending stone. They wanted to let us know that they destroyed the Frostbane rune. It was possessed by a demon, and that there's something a lot more sinister going on. The demon is linked to a white demon named Avarice, and they're on, like Tim just said, they're on the way to Jarl, to Jarl Storvald,
Yeah.
who's the king of the Frost Giants, and they're trying to. So they were trying to do experiments on the rune in some sort of weird thing, and then this is funny. Harshnag, if found, is a good Frost Giant. He is united, hated, wanted by the other Frost Giants. There's lots of weird things going on. Yeah, no shit.
So that being said, I just want to set the scene. You guys are in this table inside this, stone, beautiful stone granite room of Mithril Hall, and it's you, Lady Lariel, Henry, the Archbishop of Waterdeep, well-renowned, cleric of Tyr, Drow Paladin, the artist formerly known as Histifer, and Blandina standing over top of this thing, just scheming this brilliant plan that is at the level, it's a brilliant strategy. So it's a good moment for this campaign. It took a turn.
So is it possible, because right now, if we're getting paid the 300 gold each, that means that we will have 900 gold for amongst us. We expect Quint to show up here, right?
Yeah.
To leave the bag of holding, and it was somehow found, and leave it here for them, that has the rest of their gold and the rest of their stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're 300 apiece. Their cold weather gear is just going to be stored in this room. Dagnabbit's like, wait, yeah, she'll just have a big chest.
Yeah, it's going to have the bag of holding, and inside of it, because we're dead, somebody found this, and brought it to Mithril Hall. But it's got, it's got the immovable rod, it's got the mariner's breastplate, the ring of swimming.
Right.
It's got that silver bow that's in there, the chest that Quint had. So it's got all that stuff in it, and the folding boat. So they'll have all that stuff for them, but we're dead. And we have our own stuff, and we go on our way.
Yeah. I vibe with that hard. That's good.
So leaving from here, then we're going with Harshnag up to the Allfather to get there before the rest of the party and try and solve the issue there before anything else occurs. Or are we holding back, waiting for them to show up and tailing them so that they don't get ambushed?
I think that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I think tailing them would be the vibe, the move. I mean, yeah.
So we're hanging out here till they presumably get to Mithril Hall then?
We'd have to, right? I can't think of another.
So yeah, we're presuming they're coming here, but well, they might go somewhere else. Because they no longer have Harshnag with them.
Right.
We knew where we were going. Actually, I don't know if he told us how to get there, or if he knows
Right.
we're just following.
He knows how to find it once he gets to the valley.
Well, we tell
Like he's
Harshnag to find them, to go find
Yeah.
them,
Yes.
and yeah,
no, he doesn't want to go backwards. He wants to go forward. But I mean,
That's true.
Okay.
You know, but he can't go forward without us.
Okay. We don't know how many.
you can persuade him. But yeah,
I can
What
try.
was the-
Can I try?
yeah. So you guys are. So you want to form the party again at Mithril Hall, have them go forward, and then you follow them.
yeah. I don't think it makes sense for us to just go off on our own when our entire goal is to remain out of
Right.
the sight slash out of the mind's eye of everybody involved,
Yeah. Abs-
so that we can sit back and watch the other guys press forward, learn about our deaths, whatever that is, and then realize they have to press on, but we're in the back, essentially protecting them in some way. And Harshnag has to be, kind of in on that,
Yeah.
in that
So if
in that
that's the
charade.
case, that party could have arrived during this time.
Right, because it's
You
been
guys
8
could have all
days.
had this conversation.
As
You
long
know what I
as they
mean?
didn't get beat up already.
Yeah. I was allowing you guys the opportunity to, you know what I mean, like powerfully split the, you know what I mean. But if you guys want to stay together, you can stay together.
Without them knowing.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's hard to decide how we want to take this, but I mean, there's so much to the value of splitting up, but at the same time, the logistics of it are IRL so difficult to manage, and I'd rather be in a position where the most valuable thing is we know that they're going after something Quent has.
Exactly.
And with the loss of the entire party, or half the, the hit of losing us three, which is, 90% strength of the party, what I'm saying? No, the idea is Quent's looking vulnerable. The other party's looking vulnerable, and that might make the enemy do something hasty or be less prepared. And if we can have that win in any context, I'll take it. So,
Real quick. Hey, Pow Pow. Hey, Pixelated. Thanks, Thistle's
Hey.
Place, for watching.
hey guys,
Yeah, that's a sound plan. Especially if they were bold enough to attack us looking for the scroll, then it's awfully important for them. So
Mhm.
I doubt they'll waste any time in trying to get it.
Yeah.
After they rest and recoup, they'll be after the party. Okay. I stand out. Everyone knows what I look like.
I could help disguise you.
That's not his way.
I don't like
Yeah. That's not the paladin way, bro.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. In that case, maybe you were the only survivor. How about that? That way you can work through any way we need you to work through, and we'll always be around in our disguised self as helpers of Heronius.
That may very well be the way to go. That way, yeah.
Yeah, we could be squires for all I care,
I won't lie, but I will say that I did fail in our fight, and we were subverted in that. So
And Histover did die.
we all
In turn.
died.
And you did show up in Yartar by yourself. So that also works for
They
that.
saw a drow.
You know what I mean? They were just like, they saw a single drow running around, and
And I never
yeah,
left.
if you want to roll a deception on that, that might have put their trail on them.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
stayed in place, just inside, doing wizard things. So
Yeah. And I stayed behind closed doors, either helping him translate Undercommon for spells, and then working closely with the political aspects of Mirbar and Mithril Hall, having a flow of much needed supplies for survival.
Henry being there, if they do show up and you want to rid yourself of this scroll, he can take it.
we don't have it. Quint has it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, that's something up for, you know what I mean? Like,
I'll
you destroy it, or yeah.
Just destroy it.
Well, I know Quint wanted it destroyed. So at this point, considering
He probably did.
considering we lost just about everything, where I wanted to potentially write that into my spell book. I'm like, F this. Like, it is not worth it.
No.
If Quint wants it destroyed, and your excellency has that ability, destroy it. Let the Morecasters hear about it.
Yeah.
Let the Morecasters hear about it in Waterdeep, that a scroll of greater summon demon was found and destroyed, and see what happens.
Okay. I have to think about what's gonna be up with the other party.
But that's gonna be up to Quint, because he has the scroll. But that would be
He said he's going to destroy
Yeah,
it.
he wants to
at the
destroy it anyways.
soonest availability.
yeah.
And if he can do it himself, he will. But if he needs help, I can't imagine Plant being like, no, like to this effect, because he fought so strongly for it to be gone.
Exactly.
Well, do you want the party to link back up with you here? Do you want them to you know what I mean, like funnel themselves in? Because it's up to you, because you can leave right now. You can be like, hey, you guys have the initiative on this.
Yeah, we
If
do.
you want to wait, they show up.
I don't want to wait though. Ugh. Because if the scroll gets just, here's the thing.
Once they arrive at Mithril Hall, you know what I mean? Like, the party's back together.
So the scroll being destroyed is actually kind of defeats the purpose of us.
Or does it, because the Morecasters are spiteful and Mayberry will still come to try and rid them because we did that?
Or we silently destroy it and make them think it is still in existence.
It does not have to be said that we have done it.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah, let's make them think it's still around, and that way they'll expend resources to get it.
But we still give it to Henry to destroy,
right?
But we don't say anything about it.
Right. We don't. That's a super private matter. That's easy.
So now the church has it.
So destroy it.
Only the most trusted members of the church would have it too.
I mean, if he's the only one that comes down here with Lady Liriel and he destroys it, that could be where it ends.
Right.
And the party progresses. Okay. To try and put an end to this family who has a way of summoning demons, because apparently this scroll is the only one they have, or their ability to do so isn't in a spell scroll. I think making them think that we still have it and then being able to rid them of this mortal plane is the way to go.
Right. And if we can strike as a group at any Margaster position, I would love that. As in, Savathor would love that. But if our fate is just to put on a ruse, bait an attack, and then counterattack, I'm also okay with that. But I would like us
Well,
to be Steel Team 6 at any opportunity, have one more go at the throats of our enemies,
they sent
especially if they think we're dead.
the essentially head of their house to come and get this from us.
Yeah.
We'll be striking a blow to their family, whether that's the only, I don't know how many Morecasters there are anymore. But presumably she does it again. We can cripple them extremely.
I could potentially craft a scroll that looks similar to that scroll. That way, if they come looking for a scroll, there is something.
So you still want to be a lure for them,
Oh hell yeah!
but you want this magic gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're coming for something that no longer exists.
Right.
What would be the point of making a scroll if they're still going to come?
No,
Then finding a scroll on us would mean that we.
Because if it's in the bag of holding,
No,
they're
no,
not
no,
going to be able to. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they can what's it called? Like, detect. Yeah, detect or scry it. They just know that it's in the party somewhere.
that's what I'm saying.
And
Like,
then tell it. Yeah.
fake, just
So we
a
don't
fake,
even make decoy.
a decoy scroll that like has nothing to do with. It could be a scroll of frost
Right.
fingers for all I care. But made to look like a scroll of, make it look the way that scroll looks.
Right.
I don't see the point, but okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of like ifs. We need to commit to an outcome and from there work our way back. Is the outcome right now we're just deliberating, it's divided. Bait them to attack and thinking we're dead, be basically like counter ambush the ambush, or do we use the aspect that, like, imagine if you would, like, they have bad intel, they commit resources to attack Plant's team, and while they're kind of exposed, we take a target that was hard now soft and go after the soft target, like do more damage with the, because our DM is basically saying we have a time frame that we all will almost never have again that we can do more with.
I think
And
that's.
waiting.
I think we're
Yeah,
both.
so-
I think we're trying to do both with both in both ways, like do
Right.
both of those things through subterfuge. Like
Yeah.
we're baiting them.
Presumably,
We are still dead. Mirren is the only one still alive. So if he presents to the group, but the two of us are no longer there, that's a pretty big hit to the team.
Huge, magically.
Yeah, Quint and everybody else can think that we're dead. That's totally fine, and we allow everybody else, allow the party to move forward and luring, using them as bait for the Morecasters.
Yeah, they're the anvil, we're the hammer.
Exactly. But using that scroll, it's like, hey, technically there is still a scroll on them. They don't know that it's been destroyed. That's potentially
Right.
there with them. If that makes sense. So like we're kind of doing both
they
of
don't
those
have to do
things.
anything about it. So you're saying because Quint would have the scroll.
Right. No,
So
Quint definitely does have the
ends
scroll.
up with the scroll,
Right.
then what would be the point of giving him another scroll if they don't know it's destroyed already?
So if they find one on him, if they run away with it, then
If someone tries to steal sleight of hand,
Okay.
then they
Yeah.
they get a pointless scroll. But they think
Okay.
it's
He is not the fastest of dwarves, so yes, that I can see that being worthwhile.
yeah, I mean they know the scroll is with the other group. That they know that.
I'm sure they will not be willing to get it. So yeah,
So
Mhm.
if we pull the wool over their eyes and remove that scroll, put another one in there. Now if they get said scroll, they don't get the scroll that they think they're getting.
Yeah, any opportunity to have a contingency, it doesn't hurt, you know.
Okay.
Um, so that's where I'm thinking. This is not a decision we can easily make as players in minutes. That our characters will have at least a few days to deliberate on.
Yeah, we can always take this to the private Discord. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, it's like
discuss these things. But the issue is that you know what I mean. You guys have the agency of being able to do right now your own thing.
we could do
Right?
something, yeah. And honestly, I want to. Like, there's a part of me viscerally that enjoyed so much the efficiency that we had in even just one battle that we lost, but still the knowledge that we can turn the tide with the three of us it's not lost on me.
And we know what they're gonna do. We know
what they're gonna do.
Tactics.
Yeah, like I feel like this is something I would, looking back on this moment from a completed campaign, I wouldn't want to know what could have happened. I would have sought it. I want to seek it out. I want to figure it out by going after this.
The other half of our party at the, I guess, the clutches of the enemy to come and take them because they are unexpected or not expecting this to happen. And we go off and do something else and leave them to that.
Well, here's the thing. The ideology of the enemy is they need something, they're going after it. If we go off of the desire to protect our party, we got to be very loud about the scroll being actually destroyed, or being loud about it being destroyed and it wasn't, though I doubt that's happening. Like, I see it being destroyed either way. If we want to protect the party while we're doing something else, we got to basically let the Morecasters know, and easily through, like, especially from many means, just one being the trade routes that are going to be opened up in the word of mouth. A powerful scroll of demon summoning that had belonged to the controversial family of the Morecasters has been destroyed by the High Priest of Blank. They're going to.
I don't think they'll be happy about it, and they'll come and destroy the people who did so.
they knowing the Morecasters, yes, but also clearly the Morecasters are dealing with some sort of timetable of their own. And I think what Skylar was pointing out is we have an opportunity to lean into that as a three-man team and really go for a blind side that we can find. DM is
Harper to try and figure out, I guess, more information about them then, or where they are housed, because we went through.
They are definitely, you know, may or may not, and this is Lady Lariel. It's a extraordinarily influential family. You know that there are like the hidden lords of Waterdeep, you know, that can't be touched. Right? And then she's the open lord. But the hidden lords, they kind of turn the head of the open lord. Regardless of them being poo-pooed anywhere, they'll go to Lord Neverember, who is on the outs right now, and go to Neverwinter, and plus him up because he's down for the cash. But, you know, smudging the name of the dudes who run CNN is probably not going to be, you know what I mean? They have their hands in the Gazette. They have and it's already tough. You could just, you're just not going to bring this family down by just, you know, besmirching their name.
No, and we're not trying to besmirch the name.
If we say the greater demon scroll is destroyed, and I say that, or I say I have this locked in my thing, then that's gone. Now they're done with you. They'll hate you. You know what I mean? Forever.
Right.
They already do.
Yeah, having something they want is too good to pass up. Being seen as dead, too good to pass up. And I guess what I want to do is line up an opportunity to just absolutely mess up the Morecasters.
Well, this is great because what we can do is over the next 5 weeks or so, we'll probably have a drunken duck where we reset the lore and we sit around and we'll bring people in, you know, for a couple hour session on one of these Sundays or a Wednesday night or something like that, and just kind of like, hey, this is what's going on in the Forgotten Realms. We'll set one up, in between then, we'll hold things in Discord and we'll let you guys actually come up with a strategy. I have no problem running a third session, you know what I mean, here and there. Skylar and I have been talking about this. We can either do split the party, one party does one thing, the other party does the other. You know, hopefully I'll have a bigger table where I'm at. But I think you guys are in a good position. I don't want to rush you guys on this one. It looks like there's a lot of advantages. There are adventurers on standby if you needed to plus up to 4. You know what I mean? Like, you could also, you know what I mean, that you could move things around to make this happen. I want you guys to have the best D&D experience possible, except for Pete's party, who's on a boat right now. So unless we want to freeze to death in the water, we can't split.
Right.
But I think for all intents and purposes, you know, you have Lady Lariel, you have Henry, you have a secure room, and you have the time advantage on the other party either merging on you guys, you know, because if, you know, the way, you know, Lady Lariel would say this from her wisdom is you guys knocked out by them taking whatever they did. You know, like, it's going to take a moment for them to regather resources to attack that second party. You know what I mean? So the trail is probably open, or it's not. You know what I mean? Depending on what you guys plan on doing. The one issue is Harshnag's the only key to the Eye of the Allfather. Even Lady Lariel doesn't know where that's at. Only a giant can go find it. So there's only one team can make it to the Eye of the Allfather. Unless, yeah, I mean, he's not going to be running. He's his own man. He's not going to do that.
No.
Yeah, it's like, I'm going to go once.
For you.
Yeah.
And there is food at this table too, so feel free. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, feel free to be just like chow. But that's it. I think I love where this energy's at. I love, you know, we're closing the scene with the artist formerly known as Hiss, you know, doing the thinking man, you know, and Blandina over in the corner doing the thinking man, and we got Mirren sitting back, and you guys, you know, you have a day to decide whether you move forward on the Eye of the Allfather on your own with X party member that we could add to make it a 4-man team. You know what I mean? And then the other party shows up, and you know, they could either follow behind the Eye of the Allfather, which is not going to be an easy dungeon. Or just like the other party, once you guys get there with the Sending Stone, you're able to figure out a way to, you know, hey, this is where the Cloud Giants are, this is where the Fire Giants are, blah blah blah. Break.
Sending Stone is in the bag of holding. Just realize that.
Oh.
So.
Oh yeah, So you guys are dead.
Yeah,
you're dead to the other party.
We would leave everything that we need, like the Harshnag saw us die.
Yep.
Brought the bag of holding. Well, it's the two of us that are dead. It's the two of us that are dead, right? Mirren is still alive.
So Mir could have the sending. Mirren
has the Sending Stone, has the bag of holding. We're dead. The two of us are dead.
If we're going to proceed past here, I can go with you. That's not the issue. It's if we were going to stay here and trail them, that would be the issue of me being alive. Otherwise, we're proceeding forward. We're going, and I don't have to lie to anybody.
All that anybody knows right now is that there's a drow running around by himself.
Yep. Yeah. Blandina and Hiss
helping people
are dead for all intents and purposes.
You're not you know what I mean? Like, that's not a massive threat to whatever this is.
Nothing to see here.
So,
It's normal drow.
do we meet again? Or do you guys have a hasty, once you guys slap the table, you know what I mean? Like, so do you guys want to wait?
So we'll have to discuss it over dinner. Be like, we'll talk to this.
Yeah.
There's not an empty stomach, right?
Yeah. Well, thanks for everybody for watching, sticking out. Princess Pow Pow, Pixelated Bunny for lurking. Devil Toad, hey, thanks for showing up. Auntie, you were there the whole time. Appreciate it. Everybody, the raids, Troll Lord Games gave us a awesome raid. So did Otter. So that's awesome. If you guys see them. Yes, Wolf Druid Rose. That's a really cool Mewtwo that you made for us.
Heck
That's
yeah.
really cool.
I love it.
When people that are in our chat, like, you know, we meet people and we have something that we can have in the background. It's kind of rad. Brings us all closer as a community. But thanks everybody for watching. I'm gonna take a nice 5-week nap. prepare to move, and as soon as this is over, I'm gonna collapse this table, cry myself to sleep, and then move on to the next. But thanks everybody for watching. Skylar, you got anything else?
No, thank you, everybody. Just be on the
Oh,
lookout on June 9th, I think is when the theme song drops on Spotify. I'll make sure Tim puts out an Instagram post, and we'll do that on Facebook as well. Just if you want to listen to it on your own, hopefully I did everything correctly and it gets out there. But be on the lookout. June 9th.
Let's set up Gary Con. I think Garner is in there right now, getting ready to roll. So that'd be really cool if we can raid them.
Yeah.
Definitely search.
In the next 5 weeks, if you guys need some D&D, come to my channel, get your fix.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I'll be delving so hard into my own D&D because I'll be missing this.
I think this really filled my tank. I gotta let you know, like, this was a really fun session.
I love it.
If you look behind the screen, I had tons of extra baddies just in case you slip through. Because Skylar was like, "You're gonna hate me at the end of this session." And I was like, "Oh," and I was like really nervous before we started. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" But that chain lightning really just changed. Yeah.
If what I could have done, or what I was planning, or what we were planning, could have happened, screwed. You were screwed. But
we'll save it for the next time.
Yeah. All right. Well, Inkari, Margaster, and Adamus and Khan Shanery are these baddies out there that, just like what's on our side, Rix, that guy that's been running from us. And okay, yeah. So you have someone that really grinds your gears on this side. That makes me happy.
All right. Yeah. Well, stick around for the raid on GaryCon, and we will see you in July?
In July.
Yeah. So,
well, we're going to do a drunken duck to reset the lore, but we'll let people know.
That's fair. We'll see you guys soon.
All right.